Okay then guys, so today I've brought out a stack of heavy hitters again because I want to talk about one of my golden rules moving forward that I think is A, saving me a lot of money, and B, something that not a lot of people are talking about, and something that I think you could use, because a lot of people still to this day don't know how to utilize kind of the region-free aspect of a PlayStation 3. So here is a stack of games that I've picked up for cheap, all from different regions. Now, I'm mainly going to use this one as an example, if you couldn't see that. That is The Godfather Don's Edition on PlayStation 3. Go on eBay right now, go and have a look at used prices for this game. They are astronomical. This is a plus £100 game. Now, I don't own any game in my collection that's a plus £100 game that isn't like some old PS2 Japanese exclusive or some rare version of something. This is just like an outright game. Being that sort of price is wild. But the reason why I want to talk about this, because if you haven't seen, you might have seen the YouTube short, or if you follow us over on TikTok, you may have seen the story about me doing a deal with an Australian guy here in Tokyo on Facebook Marketplace, and I walked away with 8 video games, and this was one of them, and the cost was 4,000 yen. Now 4,000 yen works out to around like £18.23 or something like that. 8 games for £18.23. 2 of them are like throwaway, not really that fussed. Some of the rest have got values of probably like 1,500 yen each. This was another game that was in there as well. It was the Mortal Kombat vs DC Universe Steelbook, again, which was in immaculate condition. This is around £40 in this condition. But one of the things I noticed on the listing, and he said, look, you're quite lucky, I'm moving house tomorrow, and I've had that listing up for months now. I just wanted to kind of like get rid of them quick, because I'm not playing the console at all. I've already traded the console back in. I just have these sat around. I just wanted to get rid of them. And bearing in mind, this was in a much worse condition case. It got the original price tag on there from Australia, and yeah, so when I saw it though, and I saw that rating, because you may have noticed that is an Australian rating. So what does that mean? Well, the PlayStation 3 is region free. So if the Australian version, which is going to be in English, will play in English, and it will play on any PlayStation 3, you don't even need to have a jailbroken PlayStation 3 to do this. You can put any disc in from any region. Then that means I'll be able to play this for 4,000 yen. Once divided, for £2, I'll be able to get my hands on an English copy of The Godfather, which is a £100 video game. That's insanity. But then it got me thinking, it's like, but this isn't the first time I've decided to kind of go a bit more global. Now, ideally, I am looking for the Asian English versions of video games, because I like how clean the artwork is on the spine. So, ultimately, that's what I would like to have. But in the meantime, just to be able to play these games for a really cheap price, I am happy to pick them up, as long as, it's quite loud out here, isn't it? As long as they play in English. Doesn't matter if it's a Chinese version, if it's a Japanese version, if it is a European version, a Dutch version, a North America version, Canadian version, because I can run all of those on the PS3. Now, some people might be aware that I think the main thing it affects is DLC. So if there's DLC on disc, I think, no, I don't think that's an issue. That's actually not an issue. I think it's if you are to download DLC from the PlayStation Store and then use that DLC in conjunction with a game from a different region, it's not going to work. I think that's the main issue with this. But if you get games with DLC on disc, like for instance the Japanese version of Assassin's Creed 2, the special edition, which is basically like a Game of the Year edition, has all of the DLC embedded into the disc anyway. So I've been able to play the Battle of Forli and all of the extra sequences because they are embedded on the disc. by default. So it's not something I have to worry about it clashing with my other DLC and whatnot. So this is an excellent example of, hey look, I saw a big bundle, the big bundle was £18 and this was sat in there. It was a no-brainer. Now fortunately the case art is fantastic, it has got the manual, and the disc was in there as well. Even if it didn't have the manual, I probably still would have picked it up. And I've been able to case swap it. Case swapped it now, I've put it in a plastic sleeve and in a protector because I've already ripped it to my hard drive, and that is a game now that I'll get to play, that I've wanted to own from childhood and never was able to get my hands on a copy. Sure, it's an Australian copy, it's not going to look right. It's not going to look right on my shelf. Not sure if you can see that okay, but yeah, it's not going to look quite right on my shelf, but I will have access to play it. And that is the main thing about this era moving forward. The fact that I can rip this to a hard drive and preserve it, and I can borrow it to somebody, or, you know, I can sell it later down the line and still be able to play this game. It's magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. If I fall on hard times, I know that there'll be some games on that hard drive that I'll always be able to come back to. So I'm just going to ring off a couple of other games though that are in this list. So for instance, like Puppeteer. I recently picked up Puppeteer from Taiwan for £20 equivalent. It was 899 Taiwanese dollars. So it was about £22 I think in total. But again, Puppeteer is a game that is $70+ right now, and I think it's only ever going to go up since the announcement. That's what the spine looks like for the Asian English version. And again, plays in English, it's perfectly fine. I don't think there's DLC. I don't care for the DLC anyway, as long as I get to play the game. And brilliant pickup. Asian English version, completely different. I've got an Australian version and an Asian English version sat right there. This one, North American version, Transformers, War for Cybertron. Again, another game that is like $60+. I picked this up for about 6,000 yen here in Tokyo, which is around £30, which I don't know what that works out to, like $40 I think. So I've saved 20 bucks on that copy of that game just by finding it here in Japan. Another one, obviously this came as part of that bundle as well, so this also is the equivalent of £2.75 or whatever it was. But again, a £40 steelbook in immaculate condition, BBFC, so that is an English copy of this video game. It's got a poster in there and all sorts of stuff. It's, yeah, another fantastic steal of a deal. Okami HD. Now this game was only physically released here in Japan, so if you want to get the install for this, because once that digital store closes, prices of this are going to go up. Granted, did just come out on PS4 as well, but if you want to be able to play on the PlayStation 3, you have to get a physical copy, and this plays in English, even though it is a Japanese rated version. I have games from Canada, I have games from other regions, specifically from Europe as well. If it plays in English, then there is no reason for me not to go and get my hands on it for a really cheap price. So game hunting now should be a little bit more like, I mean, look, you can take your own sort of approach, but for me, my approach is if I can get my hands on a copy for a relatively good price and I can rip it to the hard drive, then I can sell that copy specifically and replace it with the version I actually want later down the line. Or I can hold on to that copy until I find the replacement, and then I can go ahead and sell that copy. So for me, it's what happened was I had a goal in mind of how I wanted to build my collection, and Sony have kind of snatched the time frame away from me, because I was going to build this collection up over years and years and years. Now granted, I mean, like some of these, you know, I wasn't even looking for, but like The Godfather I've always kept an eye out for, but I've never seen it for a price like that. But it's only now that like I actively, you know, maybe once a day in the morning after a cup of coffee, I'll peruse something like Mercari or Facebook Marketplace, and just have a look and see if anything random pops up. And I've been lucky but I wouldn't have been looking if Sony hadn't announced this store shutdown. So my golden tip for you moving forward, and I might do more tip videos, let me know, and then I might just do one that kind of covers everything in a very short time frame. But golden tip is go global with your collections. Most people are like, oh, I'm only collecting this from this region, but I'm like, but if you want to play the games and you can see, like, hey, there was another example of this as well that I saw recently, and somebody was talking about Puppeteer. And Puppeteer, they was talking about all the soul comps, $70, $70, 65, 80 bucks. And then it was like, oh, but nobody was paying attention to the soul comps for Australian copies, which have got basically the same tag, but it's yellow, I think, for that age rating. But nobody was talking about those soul comps, and I kind of put it in the comments, but it was, you know, if you notice, the Australian soul comps for that game are still at around $40, $50. So you can save yourself $20, $30 just by buying an Australian copy. Now, granted, when you go to sell it, people will be like, oh, I don't want that, it's an Australian copy. Well, don't play the game. If you don't want to play the game, it's fine by me. So I hope you guys found this video useful. Again, it's my golden rule moving forward, and nobody's kind of mentioned it. PlayStation 3 is region free. Utilize that moving forward. It's such a fantastic system that there's no wonder the prices of games are like going up like crazy, because the system is so good. Again, you've got a Blu-ray player, jailbreaking, we'll cover that in a different one because obviously mine is jailbroken. Let's, you know, look out for your games in the future, because we are at a really strange point in just, you know, real world physical media cycle, where it's like we're starting to see that the major company wants it to sort of dissipate because they want to control how they get the revenue streams in. They can't control this, you know. So if you want to kind of take control of the ownership, go global. That's been all from Paisley's here at Foreign Depository, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.